Stop hunting. Start finding. Choose the AT&T Real Yellow Pages with complete ads and up-to-date local listings to find just what you need.
Travel to Spain or Orlando Avenue. The finest restaurant featuring cuisine from Spain is open for business, lunch, and pleasure. El Bodegón, our very own 4-star restaurant, is open for business, lunch, and dinner. This is a true gem when it comes to real Spanish cuisine, featuring dishes like paella. El Bodegón also has a great wine selection. Enjoy a 4-star cuisine from Spain today for lunch or dinner at El Bodegón.
It's 4 o'clock. You want to dial in?
Yeah, these calls would go a lot better if we had an office.
This is our office.
This is your daughter's dorm room, Bob.
Listen, we have internet, telephone,
Dorm room.
lounge. It's all free.
We could just do business at FedEx office. They've got Wi-Fi, workstations. A lot of them are open 24/7. It'll still save us an overhead.
Hey, baby. Here, give me sugar. Get a room.
Technically, this is her room.
Hello, we're on.
We understand. You want less overhead. FedEx office.
My universe is everything I imagine. I want to be a graphic designer. How can I get there? The Academy. It fits my busy lifestyle, and I can learn firsthand from instructors who've been there and know what it takes. Hey, my destiny is a career doing what I love, my way. My choice, my school. The International Academy of Design and Technology.
You imagine? We can get you there. Call 1-800-932-2900. 1-800-932-2900.
Hi, I'm Danny Ramos, and welcome to this week's edition of Speak Out TV, brought to you on Bright House 49 every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. We are sponsored by Bright House and also the Academy for Design and Technology, who tapes this show as an intern scholarship program. I'm here tonight with Bonnie Donahue, and Bonnie's the executive director of the Ovarian Cancer Alliance of Florida. Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
Good to be here, Danny.
Good. I know that there's a lot of things that you need to talk to the women of Central Florida about, so I'm going to get into it with you in 1 second. At the end of this sequence, you're going to have some greetings and holiday cheer from a few of Seminole County's elected officials and aspiring elected officials. So after the conversation with Bonnie, they're here to say hello to you. Okay, Bonnie, let's get into it. Explain to us what the Ovarian Cancer Alliance is and what it does.
The Ovarian Cancer Alliance of Florida is a small nonprofit that helps women that have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, answers questions about ovarian cancer, and advocates for helping women with their health issues.
Okay. Explain to me what is ovarian cancer, how it's treated, what age levels does it attack?
Okay. Ovarian cancer is a cancer of the ovaries, of course, and it affects women of all ages. Women are born with their ovaries, and few women are diagnosed in early or at a very early age, but there has been a baby, 3-year-old baby that had ovarian cancer, and that's because you're born with them. And your risk increases with age, and the mean age for ovarian cancer is about 61 years old.
What is the death rate?
This is what is a tragedy. Most women, 75% of women are diagnosed in late stage, and of that 75%, 60% will die within 5 years.
So define late stage. What does that mean to the audience?
Late stage is a diagnosis of ovarian cancer in stage 3 or stage 4.
Okay, so they're considered to be 4 stages.
4 stages, and stage 3 and stage 4.
So most women don't find out about it until it's too late.
Most women don't find out about ovarian cancer until it's too late, and that's because, Danny, there's no specific test for ovarian cancer, which is sad when you think about all the PSAs for men, prostate cancer, mammogram for breast cancer, but there's no test.
So then how do you know? I mean, how do you?
And that most women don't know, and the reason.
Well, I'm talking
why.
about the medical side. How does the medical, if you're into stage 3, obviously it's too late. So what? Right. How do you catch it at stage 1 and 2?
Luck, and truly, it's luck. when women do go in for their regular exam, which usually they do a pap smear. A pap smear does not detect ovarian cancer. It detects only cervical cancer. But during that exam, the physical exam, a doctor, a gynecologist, will normally do a rectal vaginal exam. That exam helps to identify if the ovaries are swollen. And if they are, they might, question it and say, well, then let's do a further exam with a transvaginal sonogram. And if that test indicates something wrong, they will do a test called a CA-125. And with those 3 tests, the vaginal, rectal, transvaginal sonogram, and the CA-125, they can be pretty certain whether a woman has ovarian cancer or not.
And there's no other way to detect swollen ovaries? That's
No,
the only?
That's the only way.
It has to be a physical examination?
Absolutely. Women...
So what is your recommendation to a woman? What age level are we talking about? What age level do you suggest a woman be examined, and how frequently should they be examined?
Well, at this time, I believe for a pap smear, women start at 30, 35, I think, is where they recommend it, and then they're tested every year for a pap smear. So every year they can, of course, be examined for ovarian cancer. The mean age for women is 55 for ovarian cancer, but women can be diagnosed as early as, like I said, as a baby, because you're born with it. We have volunteers at the Ovarian Cancer Alliance of Florida that were diagnosed at 21, that were diagnosed at 27, and at 30. So women can be diagnosed at any, but the mean age is 55. So when you go in, you want to make sure that the doctor is doing the rectal vaginal. Some of the symptoms that women might want to pay attention to so that they can be more aware are bloating, a quick gait.
Bloating where? Stomach?
Bloating in your stomach, and truly you look like you're pregnant. The other symptoms would be your pelvic abdominal pain. You have difficulty eating or feeling full immediately. After eating a small amount, you feel very full and you can't understand it. Frequent urination, or some of the other ones are constipation. You may have a backache, which these are all such subtle symptoms. People go, well, I've got all of those, I must have ovarian cancer. And that's not true. These are symptoms, and if they persist over a period of 1 or 2 weeks and they grow in intensity, then you need to go see your gynecologist.
When you're getting these symptoms, you're at what stage? 2?
Well, there's 2 different philosophies on this. Some people say that that a woman will present in stage 4, that it doesn't start with 1 and grow into 4, but another group of people believe that you start with 1 and grow into later stages. But because they're so subtle, is why women in particularly pass them up, because they've got a lot of other things on their lists that they're paying attention to. You're going to go to the grocery store. You're going to go to pick up the laundry. You're going to go get the kids. You're going to, as a grandmom at 55, you've got a whole lot of other things that you want to be doing. And you don't want to pay attention to these subtle symptoms. But these symptoms are indicators that you could possibly have ovarian cancer, especially if they persist over a period of time and the intensity of these symptoms grows.
Okay. Now, you mentioned about the age 55, but that left a third under 55.
Absolutely. And Danny, I was diagnosed initially at 47, and I was diagnosed in late stage.
How did you find out about it?
I was having these symptoms, and I kept going to the doctor, and I had been several times, and they just kept saying, well, you most probably are going through menopause. Oh, Bonnie, what do you expect? You're running a business, you're the president of a women's organization, you're very involved civically. What do you expect? Because and one of the other symptoms is being tired. The fatigue is debilitating. And they said, what do you expect out of your life? Well, instead of really examining me and maybe listening a little bit better, they passed me on, and unfortunately, that's when they suspect that my symptoms went from an earlier stage to a late stage. It took them almost a year to figure it out.
And is that the attitude that most doctors had then? Because this was a while ago, right?
Yeah, it was a while ago. We're talking 14 years
14 years ago.
Yeah,
was that a
14 years
prevalent
ago.
attitude of doctors?
It was. At that time, it really was. There really wasn't as much education about ovarian cancer as there is now. I feel we've come a great distance, and more doctors are identifying it. And so with that, and if we can get more and more doctors, more and more women to learn about this, and we can learn that these symptoms aren't just subtle symptoms of that we need to pass, not think about, that we do need to think about it. And we catch ovarian cancer in early stage. 93% of the women go on to live a healthy and normal life. So it's real important that we not only have great gynecologists paying attention to what women are saying, we need women to listen to their bodies so that we can catch this in early stage.
In your case, it was 14 years ago.
Right.
What was the treatment at that time?
I was operated on. I had a complete hysterectomy, and they call it debulking. And unfortunately, I was operated on by a gynecologist who is not the specialist that is supposed to treat this disease.
Was that reflective of the era?
It was reflective, absolutely, of the era, that a lot of gynecologists were operating on women, and they weren't the specialists. The specialists that are to treat this disease are gynecologic oncologists, and because I was operated on by a gynecologist, 3 months later, I was finally, I learned more about the disease, of course, and went to a gynecologic oncologist, and I was operated on all over again. And at that time, they found ovarian cancer again in 5 locations. So if I had not gone on and found the specialist, the gynecologic oncologist, to look at me, I would have likely died.
What's your position now? Because I know that you're into treatment again.
I am.
So you had 10 years without treatment?
I had 10 years. I had it in 95. I had it again. It recurred in 98, and then I had 10 years of remission, which is very fortunate for anyone with ovarian cancer. I'm most probably broken all the different statistics. Not very many people have it twice and then have a remission for that long. And I'm doing well. I was operated on last November. It was caught my colon. They removed 6 feet of my colon, and I've had a year of chemotherapy, and I have another 5 months to go. And hopefully I will be in remission again for a very extended period of time, because I got a lot of grandchildren I want to see grow up.
Okay. How do you think the Obama health care bill affects women today? When I'm talking about, I'm talking about the Democratic bill that was in the House.
Right.
Because that's still in process, and
My concern.
What was the bill that was proposed?
The bill that was proposed, the congressional bill that was proposed, the piece that scares me, there's several pieces that concern me, but the piece that scares me the most is the Medicare and cutting Medicare back. I think that we're talking about 400 million is a number I think that they're tossing around. And since women, the mean age for women is, I think I've been quoting 55, but I think it's 61. The mean age is 61, and Medicare kicks in at 65. We have a real problem with, or I have a real problem with the care that women will receive under this